All right. What are you guys stuck on? Where do we want to start? Factored form, okay. Is there one in particular that you want to look at with factored form? Which one? First one, okay. So we're going to look at this first. What did they give us to work with? Standard form and vertex form. I would always use standard form to go into factored form. In fact, you pretty much want standard form if you're going to go into either of the other two. So to get it into factored form, let's write down what we've got. I have x squared minus 4x minus 32. We're going to use our x and our area model to do this. I'm not trying to figure out what to borrow. That's vertex form. I'm going to take this equation right here, or expression, sorry, and I'm going to make this whole thing fit inside a rectangle. It's not going to be a square, because to be a square I have to have what? Equal sides. This will not have equal sides. I'm not worried about equal sides here. All right, so I'm going to get my area model. A always goes up here, so that's where I'm going to put the x squared at. C always goes down here. So I'm going to put the negative 32. This is where it's really different from vertex form. With vertex form, I don't know what I need to borrow down there, but I need a certain amount to make it a perfect square. When I'm factoring it, I just take C and pop it right in. To figure out what goes in those two open boxes, this is where I use the x, and I multiply the a and the c together. I usually just write down the numbers, not the variables here. What's the number in front of x squared?
1.
So I have 1 times negative 32. So I need two numbers that multiply together to give me negative 32, but add together to give me what? Negative 4. If you struggle with figuring out what two numbers will do this, one of the things that I highly recommend is doing a table off to the side. Ignore the fact that it's negative. Just write down the number from the top. And then brain dump everything you can think of that'll multiply to that. Give me two numbers that multiply to give you 32. 8 and 4. Anything else?
4 and 8.
What'd you say? 4 and 8 is the same two numbers. 2 and 16. Anything else?
32, 1.
32 and 1. Anything else? How did we get to 32 to begin with? We just had a 32. So 32 and 1, right? I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
So looking down through that list, which two could you use? 8 and 4. There we go. So I'm going to use the 8 and the 4 here. Here's where I care about the signs now. Is your B positive or negative? Negative. Then the bigger number has to take that sign. Double check that it multiplies to the correct value. If I take negative 8 times 4, will I get negative 32? Cool, then I did it right. So negative 8x, positive 4x. Double check yourself. These two, when I put them together, I get this. So that everything in my area model is exactly the same as what I started with. X squared, x squared. I put these two together and I get negative 4x, negative 32, negative 32. Came right from there.
How do we determine the sign?
For which piece?
For 8 and 4, like which one is getting a negative sign?
Is your B positive or negative?
Negative.
Bigger number's negative. If your B is positive, bigger number's positive. Always. Whatever the sign on your B value, that's the sign of the bigger number that you found.
So the B from the equation?
Yes, the B from the equation. Yep. If this is negative, bigger number in the pair is negative. If that's a positive, bigger number's positive. Always, always. Good questions. Yep, always. Has to be. We're going to look at just 2 boxes at a time now. You got to go side to side. You got to go up and down. Let's go side to side first. So going side to side, what can I take out of both of these?
X plus 4.
Just out of these two? Something they have in common.
X.
X. The only thing I can take out is X. Down here, I want the biggest thing that they have in common, the biggest thing that goes into both of them.
8.
-8. It's a negative because whatever box it's touching, we got to pull that sign out with it. So if it's touching a box with a minus on it, we got to pull the minus out with it. If it's touching a box with a plus, then we pull the plus out with it. All right, now vertically, we went side to side. Now we're going to go up and down.
X
X,
plus 4.
yes. Why plus 4 instead of minus 4?
Because it's positive.
That 4x right there, the box that it's touching, we pull the sign out with it, and it's a positive. So these are the pieces for my factored form. X minus 8, X plus 4. What do I know now because of that?
The roots.
Yep, the x-intercepts, the roots. What are they?
Negative 4, 0, 8, 0.
-4, 0, and 8, 0. Do I have enough information between these 3 forms for f of x to be able to tell where the y-intercept is?
Yeah.
Where is my y-intercept?
Negative 32, 0. Oh, positive 32, 0.
Nope. Take your ordered pair, flip it around.
Oh, 0, negative 32.
There we go. Y-intercepts always start with a 0 first, and then we have our value. So 0, negative 32. Can you tell me where the vertex is?
What is 2, negative 36?
2, negative 36.
Miss Bull, how do we get our x-intercepts?
The x-intercepts came from your factored form. You take each set of parentheses, and you set it
0.
equal to 0.
So you take both of them instead of?
Yep. X plus 4, I set it equal to 0. Minus 4 from both sides. I get that x is negative 4. So that ordered pair is negative 4, 0. And then we do the exact same thing with the other one. X minus 8, set it equal to 0. Add 8 to both sides. X equals 8. So that ordered pair would be 8, 0.
So how did you get to 36?
2 and negative 36. So for the vertex, we look at which form?
For the vertex, you use what form?
Which form?
Use the vertex form.
Vertex form, yes. So on vertex form, is there any part of that that's already inside parentheses?
Yes.
Yes. What's inside parentheses on the vertex form?
Negative 2.
Yep. X minus 2. Anytime you see things inside parentheses, you have to set it equal to 0.
Do we need, why? What are we doing?
You're finding the x part of the ordered pair.
Can't you just look at the factor form and, sorry, no, hold on. Yeah, can't you just look at factor form and just say, oh, it's gonna be, 8 and negative 4, because it's the opposite?
But I was asked how we found it.
Yeah.
So I wrote down how we found it. This is what's going on. Yes.
Well, what did you?
Do I want you to be able to look at this and just tell me those answers? Yes, I do.
Wait, where did you get negative 32?
That's what I'm being asked for right now.
Sorry. I was.
That's okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. We had to backtrack a little bit.
Oh, it's our y-intercept. Okay, I'm with you.
So
I'm
Miss
with
Bull,
you
did
now.
you just get it from the equation?
You're getting these from the equation. If you're confused how we're looking at this and just jumping right to that, I'm writing down what's going on in my head over here. But when it comes test time, if I ask for factored form of this, I want to see work for this, but then I would love it if you could just write those down. I don't need to see work for how you go from here to here.
Yeah.
If you need to do some scratch work because you're unsure of yourself or you're second guessing yourself, that's what we're doing. We're just doing that in our heads. So I don't need to see this. I won't take off points if I don't see this. I really, really, really want you guys to be able to look at this and go, oh, that y-intercept is at negative 32. Oh, this is factored form. That tells me my roots. My roots are going to be at positive 8 and negative 4.
Positive 8, negative 4.
Positive 8 and negative 4. Because anytime you see something inside parentheses, you do what with it?
So to flip it.
Set it equal to 0. And so your sign is going to flip. So anytime you see parentheses, your sign is going to flip. Here, no parentheses. So it's negative 32. When I look at my vertex form, I got something inside parentheses, and I got another part that's not. The part that's inside parentheses, in your head or on your paper, you set it equal to 0, and that's what makes your sign flip. So I would add 2 to both sides. So that's the x part of my ordered pair. So it's 2 something. And for the other part of it, I just look at the end. No parentheses, grab that number. If it's inside parentheses, that's when your sign has to flip. That's when you would set it equal to 0 if you don't remember what to do. Were there any others in particular that stood out to you guys that you want help with? Vertex form on which one? Any of them? Okay, did you have a specific one, Nasiba?
Oh, I was going to ask for standard form on the last one.
Standard form on the last one. Yes, we can do that too. All right, so let's do this one. To get our vertex form, if they give me something other than standard form, I have to go to standard form first. So let's do this one, and then we'll talk about standard form down here. All right, so Kevin, not Jason. Jason's over here, Kevin's over there. I have what to work with for g of x? What'd they give me to work with? Factored form. X minus 3x plus 6. First thing we're going to have to do is put it into standard form. You can't get to vertex form if you don't have standard form. So we're going to double distribute this guy. Yep, so I have x squared
Plus 6x minus 3x minus 18.
Oh my god, that's expensive.
Which equals to x squared plus 3x over 3x minus 18.
Yes. Okay, so we get x squared plus 3x minus 18. Here's standard. So I'm going to write that down. X squared plus 3x minus 18. What do I know now that we found that?
The y-intercept.
What is the y-intercept?
Negative 18.
0, negative 18. Please make sure you're writing these down as ordered pairs because that is how I'm going to want them back from you on the test. Okay? Don't just put negative 18 because I'm going to tell you that's a number, not a point. What do you mean?
Oh, for y-intercept. Okay.
Yep. Don't just write this. If all you do is write this,
That's incorrect.
that's incorrect because it's not a point on the graph.
Yeah.
That's just
I understand.
a number.
Okay, I understand what you mean.
Is there anything else about this table that I can fill in before we find our vertex form?
Yeah, you can do the x-intercept.
What are the x-intercepts?
3,
3,
comma 0.
0.
Negative 6, comma 0.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last one.
Negative 6, comma 0.
Negative 6, comma 0. Because remember, your signs flip if it's inside parentheses. All right, Kevin, you ready? All right. I'm going to get this out of the way. Oops. I need some room here. So starting with my standard form, we are going to look only at which pieces as we go into vertex form.
H and K?
Not H and K. H and K is what we're looking for. A and B. I want just these two pieces as I go into vertex form. I'll use him later, but I don't use it at the beginning. I'm going to start to build my perfect, most beautiful square. What do we know about squares? They have equal sides. I'm going to put x squared in here. I need it to have equal sides. So what do I want to put here and here? 1.5x.
Which gives you 2.25.
We're going to take 1.5. We're going to multiply it by another 1.5. That tells me what I need to borrow. Circle it real big. You said 2.25?
Yep.
All right, so now I'm going to write down every piece that we just got and what we started with. I had x squared. What else did I have from the beginning?
Plus 3x.
Plus 3x, and in my box, in my square, that's the 1.5 and 1.5 put back together again.
Which gives you positive 25 and 2.25 and negative.
Yep. I need 2.25 to finish my square, but if I need it and borrow it, I gotta pay it back. And then what else was part of my original equation?
Negative 18.
Minus 18. Do you guys agree with me that those two will cancel out?
Yes.
And when they cancel out, is it exactly what I had back here?
Yes.
Has to be true.
Okay.
I'm going to put parentheses around all the stuff that's actually inside that square. Does the square have the x squared in it?
Yes.
Does it have the 3x in it?
Yes.
Yes. Does it have the 2.25 in it? Does it have the minus 2.25 in it?
Yes.
Leave it out. This is my square. How big are the sides of that square?
X plus 1.5.
X plus 1.5, and since it's a square, we know the other side is also x plus 1.5. So there's the sides of my square. That becomes this part of my vertex form. Sides of my square are the squared part. How do I get the k value?
Subtract 2.25 and minus 18.
Yep. Combine for k.
Gives you 20.25. Negative 20.25.
Yes. So I'm going to have minus 20.25 up here. So where's my vertex?
Negative 1.5 plus, no, negative 1.5 and negative 25.
Yes. All right. Nasiba asked about how do we get our standard form on this bottom one. What's the only thing they gave me to work with? They gave me vertex form. All right, I'm going to try to shrink some of this stuff out of the way.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, probably. That doesn't mean that we can't keep working on stuff tomorrow.
Okay.
We got 2 more review days.
Are we gonna play Jeopardy?
I'm hoping so.
Oh, with the buzzers?
I'm hoping so.
How your hair's so cute.
All right,
Like,
I'm going to take this and drop it down here. So they gave me negative and x plus 3 squared plus 25, right?
yes, ma'am.
Order of operations says I have to start where?
Inside the parentheses.
Yep. Can we do anything on the inside? No.
But we can square it.
We can square it. So I'm going to bring that off to the side and we're going to square it. X plus 3. What does it mean to square something?
Multiply it by itself.
Multiply it by itself. That does not mean square the x and square the 3. If I multiply it by itself, I got to double distribute. So I'm going to do x times x. That gives me x squared. X times 3,
3x.
3x. And then I have to distribute here.
3x.
I get 3x and I get 9.
And then you combine the 3's would be 6x
X plus 9.
plus 9.
Yep. X squared plus 6x plus 9. That's what I got from squaring it.
But you can put it back in parentheses.
Put it back in parentheses because what's out in front of it? A negative. You have to distribute that negative.
It's And then you can take it.
to only those pieces. And then we have a plus 25 here. So when I distribute a negative to those pieces, what happens?
Everything becomes negative, not the 25, but everything in the parentheses becomes negative.
Everything inside the parentheses switches signs. In this case, it makes it all negative. But I want you guys to remember, it just makes it switch signs. So I'm going to have negative x squared minus 6x minus 9 plus 25. And then I combine these two for my c. So I have negative x squared minus 6x. What do I get when I combine those two together? Positive 16. So where is my y-intercept?
Positive 16. Yeah.
Yep, 0 and positive 16.
I just wanted to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
All right. Bell's getting ready to ring. If you guys did some of these or had questions about some of these and we didn't get to it, ask me about it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to give you time to work on your review. I'm going to have the answers posted along with my work. Those will be two separate things, so you can just look through and check your answers.
On the review book?
Yeah, that will be posted tomorrow. It's not done yet, but it will be posted tomorrow. And then as long as tomorrow goes well, Wednesday we'll play a game.
Okay.
If we are a train wreck tomorrow, then I think on Wednesday you probably need me a little bit more than a game.
No, we have